on today's video, we'll be doing something very different. We'll be doing food photography. I know. I've never tried it before. Something I've been trying to do for like 2-3 years. I've been chasing this amazing chef. Right? He's been ghosting me. He's been disappearing. I'm like, I'm going to catch you someday.
Hello, welcome to our first food video. My name is Emmanuel. I'm an upcoming chef, and this is a collaboration I have been looking forward to for such a long time. I am so happy that it has finally happened. Today we're doing a mix of food photography and cooking. So today we took a trip to Asia. We did an Asian dish. We did 4 Asian dishes. So we did lo mein, which is rice noodles. We did the traditional Chinese fried rice, and we did the more conventional fried rice, which has extra ingredients. And we did orange chicken sauce, which is basically me just pouring orange juice into chicken. And I am so excited and happy to show you everything that we have done.
We're making use of both hard light and soft light. Basically, we'll be using a parabolic umbrella, right? And then we'll be using the 8600. Also, we'll be trying a triopo, I think about 60 mm. I don't know, I think 60 mm. I can't remember how many centimeters it is. We'll be trying that out also. And then we'll be setting the food on this table. We'll be trying out composition, different angles, and I'll be doing the talking over the video also. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comment section if you do enjoy it, and don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. Food photography 101, because we plan on doing more of this. To start with, we wanted to ensure that we got our camera settings right, and this we started with our ISO. I used the lowest ISO possible. ISO has to do with how sensitive your camera is to, or your sensor in this case, to light. So I wanted to use the lowest ISO possible, so I went with ISO 100. And now I know I could have gone to ISO 50, which is a setting I didn't know before my camera, but now I know. So I used the lowest ISO possible. This gave me the opportunity to ensure that there wasn't any noise in my image while I was editing or while I was taking a picture. I had a properly exposed image. So that's number one, which has to do with the ISO. Number two, I ensured I got my shutter speed right. The shutter speed has to do with how fast my camera shutter is opening and closing while I take a picture. So I wanted to ensure that I didn't have any ambience light also entering my picture when I took the picture. So I used 1/200 of a second for my shutter speed to ensure that my picture was not having any external form of light, and when I took the picture, it took it as fast as possible. Then number 3, mention the lens I used. I used a Sigma at 24 to 70 mm lens, f2.8 on my camera to ensure that my pictures were as clean, as beautiful as possible. So as regards the aperture, which has to do with how sharp my image is as regards the focus point, so we used a deep depth of field, right? And to make this possible, I used an f-stop of f4 to f9. Don't get me wrong, I also used the shallow depth of field at some points in the video or in the image, because I wanted the shallow depth of field. I wanted to be able to blow out some parts of my image. So basically, I also used the shallow depth of field. And as regards the shallow depth of field for this particular lens, which is the Sigma hard lens, it was at f2.8. This is because the fastest this lens can go is f2.8. Yeah, so basically, that was everything as regards our camera settings. ISO 100, shutter speed of 1/200 of a second, aperture opening from f4 to f9.0, and at some particular points I used f2.8. In regards to our lighting, I used an AD600, right? But for the light modifiers, I used 3 options. I used the parabolic umbrella, right, and then the 90 centimeter triopo softbox, and then I used the beauty dish. But out of everything I loved the parabolic umbrella more. And for my lighting, I used backlight and side light, right? The major reason why I used backlight and side lights was to give the illusion of depth, right? Not just the illusion. I wanted to also show that there was depth in my image. You understand? Because if I was using a flat light, the flat light is basically lighting the whole image to ensure that there wasn't any shadow, right? It wouldn't have been as enticing, as beautiful as when I was used side light or backlight. So the purpose of the side light or backlight is to have the light fall off, right? By the time the light falls off, there are some parts of the image that will be brighter than some parts. So the parts of the food or part of the image closer to the camera will be brighter than parts farther away from the camera. But then, like I said, I used 3 options. I used the parabolic umbrella, the softbox, and then the beauty dish. I didn't like the beauty dish. No offense. I didn't like the beauty dish. Maybe because I had not gotten a perfect way of using it while I was taking a picture, which I'm going to try some other time. And like I said, those 3 options give me different lighting experience, right? The parabolic umbrella gave me a soft light. The beauty dish gave me a hard light. I didn't like it. I didn't really use it. I'm sure for this particular dish, it might not have been what I was going for, but it's something I'm going to try later on. So the parabolic umbrella gave me a very beautiful experience. I raised the parabolic umbrella up such that the light was falling off, right? It was being feathered, it was falling off on the image. I didn't put it in such a way that it was just going to blast on the table too, because I wanted the table to maintain its exposure, but the food was the main thing. You understand what I'm saying? For the softbox, I really like the softbox because it gave me more depth as opposed to the parabolic umbrella. It gave me more shadows as opposed to the parabolic umbrella. I could see the depth, I could see more in my image. I really loved the softbox, but then my winner for me is definitely the parabolic umbrella because of the soft light it gave, right? So in between the very soft light and the hard light, we have the softbox, which gave us a mixture of both the soft and the hard lights, if you get what I mean. So for the food setup, Emmanuel came and for our first dish, he dished a lo mein, right? Very amazing. That's definitely my favorite dish in this series. Yes, no, not this series, this particular video. Yeah, the lo mein was an amazing dish. So because this was our first time trying food photography, we tried so many different angles. We turned the dish, we angled the dish. I tried so many different angles, and because it was, like I said, it was my first experience, it was a very interesting one. Then we moved to the traditional Chinese rice and the egg fried rice, right? That was also very interesting. We had a dish where we put both of them in, and we could see the difference between both of them. Like I said, also, just to mention again, as regards the lo mein, we had a blue plate and a white plate, right? For the white plate, I think I kind of really loved the white plate. I really loved how the dish came out. But when we moved it to the blue plate, you could see the color contrast between the ingredients, the bell pepper, the onions, the dish. The blue plate gave the dish a deeper contrast. Like the dish came out more as opposed to the white. This is something I just learned, which made sense. So basically, I'm going to put that into my experience. Try to ensure that you have a deeper contrast. For the orange chicken stew, that was more different because we had 2 plates. We had the blue plate and we had the red plate. I think I would prefer the red plate because you could see the monochrome effect, but on the blue plate, you could see more of the sauce of the stew come out well. That was basically everything as regards our angles, composition, and setting up and food setup. And after that, we tried so many different. We tried to bring everything together to have a collage of 3 different dishes in a picture, angling it and putting it in different aspects, different styles. And we also ensured we used a fork, and basically it was a very beautiful experience trying out food photography. Basically, like I said, photography 101. We tried different angles, and I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of pictures, and I hope you like it. I hope it was something that you also enjoyed, because this process, like I said, from the camera settings, right, to the light setup, the angling, to the composition, to the food, right? This brings me to the end of the video. If you watched up to this point, thank you so much, and I smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, like Peter McLennan would say. And I hope you enjoyed it. It was a very beautiful experience. The images are on the screen. If you want to see more, you can go to Chef Emmanuel's page, or you can go to my page, or I'll drop a link down below so you can see more of what we created and how the images came out. And like I said, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe if you did find this video helpful and you enjoyed watching it up to this point. I hope we do this again, right? Thank you, Emmanuel, for doing this. Thank you for taking time out, and thank you for watching. And until next time, bye bye. I'll see you later.